I've helped multiple people get to over 1000 followers on Twitter in 30 days or less. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact 3 things that you need to do to also get to 1k followers in 30 days. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the exact tweets that you should be writing. To get to 1k followers, there are only 3 types of tweets that you should be writing. And the first one is the contrast tweet. The contrast tweet is basically a tweet where you contrast 2 ideas to show what you stand for and what you stand against. So that's why this is really powerful and really simple to show what you stand for. This is the second version of it. So instead of you don't need, you need, you say stop start. And it's basically the same tweet, but in a slightly different way. And the next version is also a slight variation of it. You highlight that dumb people do it this way and smart people do it this way. So again, you kind of highlight the contrast between 2 different ideas. Contrast tweets are really simple to pull off, and I would just do one of them each day, but a slight variation of it. I've given you 3 different examples, but you can turn it into many different variations so that it looks new every time. So that brings us to the second tweet, and this is list tweets. I'm going to show you 6 different variations of this. And the first one is a regular list. This is where you start with a short hook and then you just give a list of 5 to 8 points. And you want to make sure that there's a stairway here so that you start with the shortest and then end with the longest, because in this way it's easier to reach for people. The second one is a slight variation of this, where you do the hook, then the list, and then a short question to kind of boost the engagement that you're getting. You don't want to overuse questions, but if you give value first, then it's okay to add a question at the end. Next up is the first version of the repetition list. So as you can see, here's the repetition list. So after you read the second sentence, you notice, alright, he has a pattern here, so I can just skip this and I can focus on this. This makes it easier for people to consume your content, and it takes less time to read because they can just skip this. This is the second version of the repetition list. You have the repetition and then you suddenly have a change that kind of interrupts the pattern, and then you give a short lesson. Then we have the hook list takeaway. So it's exactly what the name says it is. You first give a hook, then a short list of 3 to 5 points. You can also do 4 or 6, but 3 to 5 tend to do better. Then you give a short lesson at the end. And that brings us to the symmetric list. So this is where you have a short hook, then you have list number 1 and list number 2. So you have 2 lists of 3 points, and then you have a short lesson at the end. This is very useful to compare 2 different situations with each other, to kind of show a transformation. So pick one of these list variations and post it at this time. Again, this is just a guideline, you can do different posts, but I'm just giving you something that worked really well for my clients. And then we have inspiration tweets. I'm going to give you 3 different variations of this, and the first one is the motivational post. This is where you kind of empathize with people's situations based on what they want to achieve. Then you end with a motivating lesson. The next one is a transformation. Transformation posts are really powerful because they show I used to be here, right now I'm here. Here's how I overcame everything in between to get to the desired end goal. And if the desired end goal that you achieved is something that your ideal reader would also like to achieve, then they'll be interested in reading about it. And the cool part is that you also share something about yourself and your story, which builds a connection. And you also give them valuable insights while you're doing this, so this also builds up your credibility and it helps your audience. And next up is the milestone post. So this is where you say, I achieved this thing, here's what I did to achieve it, and then you give a short takeaway. Your writing formatting is also crucial for the tweets that you're writing, but I don't want to get into that right now. So if you want to learn about that, check out the free ebook in the description. So this is what the content strategy can look like. There are different ways to do it, but this is a way that works really well. So that brings us to the second step. And this is networking to get your engagement up. This is the follower funnel. So people are strangers when they first see your content. Then they see either your tweets or your comments. Then they click on your profile, and if your profile is optimized, they become a follower. So you need 3 different things for this, but at the start, you won't have organic reach yet. So your tweets aren't reaching people, which means that you have to force eyes on your content. And you do this with quality comments. If you leave a lot of quality comments, you get a lot of profile clicks, and if your profile is set up right, you convert a high percentage of that into followers. I've left over 30k comments and I analyzed all of them with a tool. And I'm now going to show you the 8 best performing ones for me, so that you can copy them and save a ton of time while still getting the same results. The first one is a personal insight. So this is where you give a personal insight related to the topic of the tweet. The second one is a platitude. This is sort of a short lesson that you give related to the tweet. The third one is a personal take. So this is where you give your own opinion on the tweet. The fourth one is sharing an idea related to the tweet. The fifth one is sharing a personal experience related to the idea in the tweet. The sixth one is sharing a relevant story. Doesn't need to be about you, but it can be. The seventh one is making a short joke. And the eighth one is saying something thought-provoking, again related to the topic that I talk about. That's the most important thing. It needs to be relevant to the tweets and it needs to add something to it. So you now know how to get tweet impressions with tweets and comments, but you still need to optimize your profile. I won't go into depth about setting up your profile, but I'm going to give you the most important things. And that's that you have a blue tick, that you use your own name, that you have a clear profile picture and a simple banner, and that you have a good follower ratio, and that you include all of these things into your bio. If you do it like this, then it will look professional and you will increase your profile conversion rate, which will give you more followers and customers. Alright, so far that gives us the following strategy. These types of posts, optimizing your profile, leaving 100 good comments per day, and following and DMing 10 to 20 people per day. You don't need to do this much to grow, but if you want to get to 1k in 30 days, then you need to. So that brings us to the third step, and this is doing giveaways. When you're at 500 followers, you need to do your first giveaway. And if you do it well, that can instantly bring you to 1k followers. As you can see, I got over 700 replies to this one, so that helped me gain over 500 followers overnight. The key to making a giveaway work is having a desirable outcome in it, so something that you achieved, then making it relevant for your ideal reader, so in my case writing, then giving clear instructions how they can get the thing that you're giving away. So like, follow me and write this. They need to follow you so that you can send them the auto DM. I explain in my X Growth System course how you can set it up, so check the link in the description if you want help with that. And then you can ask people for help, so that more people repost it and so that you get more reach. The most important thing is that you message at least 30 people that you already know and ask them to repost it for you. So these will be the people that you added to your comment list and that you followed and that you have some DM interaction with. You can just say to them, I'm launching my first giveaway tomorrow. It would be great if you could repost it. I'd be happy to do the same for you once you launch yours. And most people will be willing to repost it for you. And again, the same thing here is true. The more people you ask, the better the giveaway will do. But keep in mind that you have to repay the favor to the people that you ask. So be selective with who you ask, but the more high quality people you can ask, the better. In terms of creating the giveaway, you want to make sure that it's a solution to a tiny pain point that your ideal client has. In my case, people want to become creators with time freedom. They need writing for this, but they don't know how to write. And a part of not knowing how to write is not knowing how to format your writing. So that's why I created the Writing Simplified ebook, to help people with exactly that. And that's what I gave away and I did extremely well. So this is how you get to 1k followers. But 1k followers doesn't equal money because you still need to know how to monetize your audience. So to make sure that you monetize your audience in an authentic way, check out this video next. It explains the exact 3 strategies I use to get from 0 to 100k on Twitter so that you can do the same this year.